Something different today. I want to really start getting into these. I really love enjoying watching movies, and this type of movie is one of the movies that I really favor out of all types of different genres, action movies and comedies and stuff like that. I watch all types of movies, but here on this channel, I want to start doing some movie reviews, and I just checked out the movie Get Out. Um, a couple things I want to say about this movie, and I'm not. The first thing I'm going to say is that I'm not going to spoil anything on the ending or talk about who gets killed and everything that happens in the movie. But this movie, I would say, is something different, and I wouldn't say that this is everyone's type of movie, but to me, as a horror fanatic, this definitely brought it had its horror thing to it, along with its comedy moments, especially this guy Ron in the movie, or not Ron, but Rod in the movie. He was really funny. He brought the comedy to the movie, in my opinion. He made it funny. So even throughout those scary moments and thriller and creepy moments throughout the movie, as you watch, he really delivered the comedy in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't a bad movie at all, and it's something I want to talk about a little bit with the plot. Basically, a black guy goes to a white girl's house and is invited over to meet the family and her parents and stuff like that. So it's an interracial couple, and basically he goes there and he's really nervous. He doesn't know what's going to happen, what her family's going to think about him, since he's a completely different race, and he's just so many questions he has as he makes his way over there. Every guy, I'm not sure everyone out there can probably relate to something like that. Any when you get into like a relationship, and no matter who you're dating, regardless of skin color, race, or anything like that, it's always you always want to make a good first impression when you go over to meet your girlfriend's parents or whoever you're gonna meet. Family affairs, family get-togethers and stuff like that, and you get invited and stuff like that. You always want to make a good impression, and that's what was going through this guy Chris' mind, and he didn't know exactly what her parents are gonna think of him, what exactly was gonna happen, how it's gonna work out, and different views toward him. Is he gonna be judged because of his skin color, and all types of different opinions weighing down on him. But that's basically what the plot of this whole movie was all about. Is him going to visit his girlfriend's family. Um, the creepy thing about this place was that this house was all the way deep into the woods, and there was no neighbors or anything like that. It was really deep in the neck of the woods and stuff like that, and that's what really made it creepy, in my opinion. And it reminded me of one of these movies that I watched. I think The Cabin in the Woods. I would say it made me think about that, and there's some other movies where the setting was in a building where deep in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and obviously things are going to go down and it's going to be scary, of course. But that was basically the plot of this movie, and what it was all about. And not to spoil anything like that, there were a couple racial things that took place, and something that stood out to me is that besides her family being white, her family actually had servants, or servants or maids, I would say, that were black. And now that I mentioned that, I think that would probably provoke some people. It would probably just make people think about the past with slavery and all that stuff. And I don't know. And that's something I'm going to talk about in a little while. But I would say that I don't really have a problem with that. But it's just, skin color doesn't matter to me, and never did to me. And I don't judge anyone based on their color of skin. It should be judged based on their people should be judged based on the content of the character, who they are as a person. And to me, the heart stands out, and their personality. It shouldn't matter about how they look or anything like that. But outside of that, from there, things really got creepy with not only the servants. I think Georgina was one of the servants or the maids, and from there things got really creepy, and then all types of creepy things was we're gonna from there started getting out of hand for Chris, and weird looks from different family members and different questions, and things, all I would just definitely say all hell broke loose, because just to try to avoid spoiler and stuff like that, it had even more twists. And come to find out, even her, he couldn't even trust his own girlfriend because she was part of it too. But I'm not going to get into that at all in this video. I really enjoyed it, and it definitely, again, it still had its scary moments, and the one thing I also noticed from this movie is, like, when you watch a horror movie and you think there's going to be gore, and this movie didn't really have too much gore. And when you watch a slasher movie like Friday the 13th, Halloween, and some other movies that you guys probably have seen out there, there's a lot of blood, and especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that would be a really good one, as a very gory, graphic movie. But this movie is not on its level when it comes to gore. It's very little blood, but it's still scary, and it has its comedy all together. But it's not, if you're looking for that type of stuff in this movie, this is not the movie you probably want to watch and see when you want to see blood and, you know, guts, missing heads, arms, and limbs be torn off and cut off and everything like that. But this movie doesn't have that, and if you're looking for that. And other than that, it's still scary and a good horror movie in my honest opinion. But if you're looking for that gore factor, it doesn't really have that. And then the only major negative I could say about it is that I think this movie could probably trigger some people with the racial issues. There's still racial tensions out there today, to be honest, going out there. And some people probably would not agree with interracial couples, interracial relationships, and stuff like that. And I think with people who probably have a problem with that and have a different view or preference and say, oh, that should never happen, and that should never go on between someone else of a different race and stuff like that. I don't think this is a movie for those type of people, and I think it could really just, again, trigger them, and they might not like it. I don't think people who feel that way, this is not a movie for them. So I would probably put that as the major negative, and then alongside of the fact that if you're looking for that gore, this movie doesn't have that really to it. And this is not a movie I would recommend to everyone out there. But if you love horror type movies, and to me it was interesting. But if you like that kind of stuff, horror thing, and I think this is a movie for you. But just like I mentioned with the racial issues and interracial couples and stuff, that's basically where the movie was about. And I think it could probably get people really thinking about the past and slavery and such like that. Just the fact that the servants turned out, all the servants and the workers at the house of this family were all black, and it was also some twists in there, but I'm not going to mention those. I just think that would be just the major negative about this movie, and just the fact that if it lacks the gore. And I wouldn't say that it's a movie for everyone, and people have preferences now with different genres. Like, some people like action movies, some people don't even like scary movies because they think they're too scary. They have nightmares, like, as if no one ever hasn't, you know, never had a nightmare about a scary movie from the past that they watched. You know, me, I was that kind of person. But now I love horror movies more than any other movie out there. But if you don't like these type of movies, you probably wouldn't want to watch this. But other than that, those are the only negatives I can mention. But other than that, it was really good. It was interesting. I didn't get bored of it, and I don't think anyone who would watch this movie would get bored of it and fall asleep and want to turn it off and watch something else or leave the movie theater or something like that. But it really kept you watching and wanting to find out, you know, what's going to happen next. So how's it going to really turn out? And just like I mentioned before, with the twist, even with this guy, Chris's girlfriend, it was pretty shocking. And it surprised me. It caught me off guard. And when I thought she was going to be on his side defending him. And all hell just broke loose from there. And everything went downhill from there. And I really like that guy, Rod. He was really funny in the movie. But that's what I think about the movie. And what would I rate it? I would give it a 4 out of 5. And the reason I would give that rating to it is because it's not a movie for everyone. And again, like I mentioned, with the racial tensions and the interracial couples, it's not a movie for everyone. I think some people might get triggered and provoked and, you know, think negatively about, you know, some others. And everyone has their own views and preferences about who they like to date and who they're into, and, you know, all that stuff. But other than that, and also just the gore, the fact that it's a lack of gore, but it's still scary. It has its thriller moment and thriller factors, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat where you want to keep watching. And I don't think you wouldn't want to. I don't think people would get bored of watching this movie. So I can't recommend it to everyone out there, but it's really good, and I think some people will actually enjoy it. But if you love horror themed movies, I think this is a movie for you. But other than that, that's my rating. That's my review for the Get Out movie. I really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind going to see it twice, honestly. But thank you for watching, and if you haven't seen this movie, let me know what you guys think. If you guys seen the trailer and heard some things about it, feel free to share your thoughts and maybe some of the movies that you like to watch, and maybe some of your opinions about the plot of the movie, with the fact that this guy goes to this girl's house and things just go downhill from there for him. But everyone has their different opinions and preferences, so that's just where I stand, and this is what I think about the movie, the Get Out movie. And let me know what you guys think about my movie review. I definitely want to try and get used to doing this a little bit more, and I will be trying to do a video similar to this with the upcoming Power Rangers movie this week on Friday that I'm looking forward to seeing as a huge Power Rangers fan. So feel free to give your advice and constructive criticism about this video, because I want to get back into movie reviews and start doing some other things outside of playthroughs and gameplay. Thank you for watching, and feel free to comment your thoughts on the movie and your specific genre types and whatever you guys may have thought about this movie as well.